Today, we're diving into the exciting world of expressing purpose in English. Whether you want to explain why you're doing something or describe the intended outcome of an action, understanding how to express purpose is like having a secret weapon in your communication arsenal. In this video, we'll explore the various ways to convey purpose using infinitives and clauses. It's like having a language toolkit filled with different tools for different purposes. By mastering these techniques, you'll be able to express your intentions and goals with clarity, precision, and impact. So, grab a pen and paper and let's embark on this purposeful language journey together. It's time to become purpose-expressing pros and take your English skills to the next level. Using infinitives to express purpose, the versatile verb form. The most common way to express purpose in English is by using the infinitive form of a verb. The infinitive is like the Swiss Army knife of verb forms. It's versatile, compact, and always ready to help you express your intentions. To form an infinitive, simply take the base form of the verb and add to in front of it, like to learn, to ask, or to buy. It's like giving the verb a little prefix hat that says, I'm here to express purpose. Here are a few examples to illustrate the power of infinitives. She went to the library to study for her exams. The purpose of going to the library was to study. They stopped at the gas station to ask for directions. The purpose of stopping was to ask for directions. It's important to note that when there's a personal object of the main verb, the infinitive may refer to that object instead of the subject. It's like the infinitive is playing a game of tag, you're it, with the object. For instance, in the sentence, the manager sent Tom to the conference to present the new project, it's Tom, not the manager, who was meant to present the project. The infinitive is like a spotlight, shining on the person who's supposed to carry out the purpose. Using in order or so as with infinitives, the purpose emphasizers. Sometimes we want to emphasize the purpose of an action or make it crystal clear. It's like putting a big, bold underline beneath our intentions. In these cases, we can use in order or so as before the infinitive. In order is like the popular kid of the purpose-emphasizing world. It's more common and can imply that the subject wants to perform the action or wants it to happen. So as, on the other hand, is like the more reserved sibling. It only implies that the subject wants the action to happen, without any personal involvement. Here are some situations where we might use in order or so as. 1. With a negative infinitive. She whispered in order not to wake the baby. 2. With to be or to have. He saved money so as to have enough for a down payment on a house. 3. When the purpose is less immediate. She's taking a coding course in order to qualify for a better job. 4. To emphasize the purpose in longer sentences. The company redesigned its website in order to improve user experience and increase sales. 5. When there's a personal object, but we want the infinitive to refer to the subject. The parents hired a tutor so as to have more free time for themselves. These purpose emphasizers are like the cheerleaders of the grammar world, making sure our intentions are loud and clear. Infinitives of purpose after go and come, the double trouble. When using the imperative or infinitive form of go and come, we usually don't follow them with an infinitive of purpose. It's like they're the lone wolves of the verb world, preferring to work alone. Instead, we use two imperatives or two infinitives joined by and. It's like they're the dynamic duo teaming up to express purpose. For example, instead of saying go to find John, we would say go and find John. Similarly, instead of come to talk to Sarah, we would say come and talk to Sarah. It's like the verbs are holding hands, marching together towards a common goal. However, when go and come are used as gerunds or in any present or past tense, they can be followed by the ordinary infinitive of purpose. It's like they're finally ready to let the infinitive join their purpose party. For instance, I'm planning on going to the store to buy some groceries. They came to the party to celebrate their friend's birthday. So, remember, when go and come are in the imperative or infinitive form, they're the lone wolves. But when they're in any other form, they're happy to team up with the infinitive of purpose. Purpose. Clauses with so that and in order that. The clause connectors. Sometimes we need to use a clause to express purpose, especially when the person to whom the purpose refers is different from the subject of the main clause, or when the original subject is mentioned again. It's like the purpose needs its own dedicated space to shine. Purpose clauses are like the bridges of the grammar world, connecting the main idea with the intended outcome. They're usually formed with so that or in order that, followed by will, would, can, or could, in the base form of the verb. Can and could are used to mean will be able to or would be able to. It's like they're the helper verbs, giving the main verb a boost of ability. The choice between will and can or would and could depends on the tense of the main verb. It's like the main verb is the boss, deciding which helper verb gets to join the purpose party. Use can and will when the main verb is in the present, present perfect, or future tense. I'm leaving a note so that he will know where I've gone. Use could and would when the main verb is in a past tense. She left a map so that they could find their way home. It's important to note that if you omit that from purpose clauses with can or could, the idea of purpose may disappear. It's like that is the glue that holds the purpose together. Without it, the sentence might just express a result instead. Compare. He locked the door so that she couldn't leave. Purpose. He locked the door to prevent her from leaving. He locked the door so she couldn't leave. Result. He locked the door, therefore she wasn't able to leave. So, when using purpose clauses, make sure to include that to keep your intentions clear and purposeful. Formal purpose. Clauses and negative purpose clauses. The fancy and the negatives. In formal writing, you might encounter purpose clauses formed with so that, in order that, or simply that, followed by may, might, shall, or should, and the base form of the verb. It's like they're the fancy cousins of the purpose clause family, dressed up in their formal attire. For example, the city installed additional streetlights so that pedestrians might feel safer at night. The school implemented a new curriculum in order that students may be better prepared for college. However, for most everyday purposes, so that with can, could, will, or would is sufficient. It's like the casual Friday version of purpose clauses, still effective, but a bit more laid back. To form negative purpose clauses, simply use the negative form of the auxiliary verb, will not, would not, cannot, could not. It's like putting a no entry sign on the purpose door. For instance, they spoke in code so that others wouldn't understand their conversation. Alternatively, you can often use to prevent, followed by a noun or pronoun and a gerund, or to avoid, followed by a gerund. It's like using a detour sign to steer clear of an undesired outcome. For example, she took a different route to work to avoid running into her ex-boyfriend. He wore a disguise to prevent anyone from recognizing him. Using in case and lest. The precautionary pals. In case is another way to express purpose, but it also implies a sense of preparation or precaution against a possible future event. It's like carrying an umbrella on a cloudy day. you might not need it, but it's better to be safe than sorry. In case is followed by a subject and a verb in either the present or past tense, depending on the tense of the main verb. It's like a chameleon, adapting to its surroundings. Here's how the tenses work with in case. When the main verb is in the future, present, or present perfect tense, use in case with the present tense or should, plus base form of the verb. I'll bring an umbrella in case it rains. When the main verb is in the conditional past or past perfect tense, use in case with the past tense or should, plus base form of the verb. She brought a sweater in case it got cold. In case can also be used with should and the base form of the verb, regardless of the tense of the main verb. Using should expresses a greater degree of uncertainty or improbability. It's like saying, just in case, but don't hold your breath. For example, I always carry a spare tire in case I should have a flat. Another way to express purpose, albeit less common and more formal, is by using lest, followed by should, and the base form of the verb. Lest means for fear that, and is usually used in formal writing. It's like the fancy, cautious cousin of in case. For instance, he tiptoed around the house lest he should wake the sleeping baby. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today. It's like we've been on a purpose-filled adventure, exploring the various ways to express intentions and goals using infinitives, clauses, and other constructions like in case and lest. Remember, the most common ways to express purpose are 1. Using the infinitive alone. I went to the store to buy milk. 2. Using in order or so as with the infinitive. She studied hard in order to pass the exam. 3. Using purpose clauses with so that or in order that. He turned on the light so that she could see better. By mastering these different ways to express purpose, you'll be able to communicate your intentions and goals with clarity, precision, and impact. It's like having a purpose-driven language toolkit at your disposal, ready to help you convey your ideas effectively.
Infinitives show our aim to study, to learn, to grow in order to emphasize so as to let them know purpose in English. So many ways to say why we do what we do every single day. So that and in order that connect our goals with these will, would, can, or could help us express with these purpose in English. So many ways to say why we do what we do every single day. In case prepares for maybes, less guards against our fears. Formal or casual style will make our purpose clear. Purpose in English. So many ways to say why we do what we do every single day. Now you've got the tools to show your intentions true. Purpose expressions mastered.